Coming up on today's show, we're going to do some more news and we're going to finish our conversation about the Polynesian resort. That's coming up next on Traveling with a Mouse. Welcome, everybody, to episode 358 of Traveling with a Mouse. My name is Adam. I'm your host this week, and I am joined today by John.
Let's put up environmental tests 2, 5, and 7. 7? Yeah.
Oh.
7.
Is that the test track, or was that
That is correct.
the original test
that?
track?
Do you remember that line?
Yeah. Wasn't that... Oh, James is here too, sorry. Introduce James. I guess I should introduce him before he talks.
Hi, I'm James.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, there he is. He is here, see?
I was just listening to y'all.
Well, I was trying to say, do you know that line, James? It's already been given away.
Since you mentioned it, it sounds familiar, yes.
The original. Wasn't that the guy who played on Arrested Development?
He's been in several things.
He was the
lawyer?
Lawyer, yeah.
It was him.
Guy's a pro. I forgot he was in something more recent, but I can't. That's the only thing that came to mind was that.
That was probably the first thing that came to mind, too.
Right.
But yeah, he's been in several things.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just funny to think about, like, I knew him from that first, obviously, Test Track, but then.
Well, see, if I'd have said the line where he says, we'll put up German and Belgium, you probably would have recognized that one right off. Or is that one have been tough to figure out, too?
That would have been tougher, actually.
You thought so? Okay.
I guess.
Because that was the blocks that they put. You know, when you go down, you go up the hill, then you go down. Anyway.
Oh. Okay.
So I'm trying to think. I know we discussed it on this show. James, original test track or current test track?
I think the original one I like the best.
Yeah.
Agreed. I think we all... Even the music, I think, is better. The music now is not bad, but...
Some people thought the original music was annoying, especially after you got right into the queue, but...
Yeah. You know what else that music reminds me of is that Walt Disney World Racer game, what was the...
they played that, it was on Sega Dreamcast, actually.
Yes, it was on Dreamcast.
I forgot what it was called, but it was a racer game that went through different...
attractions.
Yeah.
It was. Yeah. I thought it was Walt Disney World Racers or something like that. I forgot.
Something like that. Magical Quest Racers, I don't know, something like that.
No, well, anyway. But Test Track was so new that all it was like it wasn't an actual course. It was just like a arena type track. It wasn't, I forgot why. Yeah, it wasn't like the ride, like Haunted Mansion or whatever was like a kind of sort of followed the ride. And anyway.
What was kind of cool about those, about that game though, was it had all original like park soundtracks to every place they went, so.
Yeah. Even lines from Pirates, like, you'll be swimming with the sharks. Over and over again.
I don't even remember this
that popular
game.
line from Pirates.
Do you remember that?
I vaguely remembered us having a Sega Dreamcast.
Really?
You don't remember that?
I had one. I don't remember.
John had one?
Wasn't it on other...
That's the only thing I remember it being on.
Maybe it was. Maybe that was it.
I see.
Right. Shenmue. Yeah, the very short-lived Sega Dreamcast.
Yeah. Yes.
Very short-lived.
But it
It's
was
like,
fun.
2 years? Anyway, I wanted to start with a couple of things that are happening Friday. Big day for Disney, Friday, May 27th, which is probably when you're either hearing this or, shortly thereafter.
Big day.
So it's already happened. But Guardians, of course, is officially open to the public.
Woo-hoo.
That's one thing. But also, Obi-Wan is released. The first 2 episodes will be out in a 2-episode premiere. Anybody watching it? I know James is a big Star Wars guy, but excuse
him.
Sorry.
We'll get that part over quickly. I'm looking forward to this big time. I'm excited.
Teach their own.
It's a touching reunion between Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen.
Oh, okay.
Right.
What I saw was Uncle Owen and Obi-Wan are going to interact.
Okay.
That's kind of cool.
I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
No, they're just gonna argue and stuff.
Oh, okay. Like they're gonna interact. Okay.
Yeah. I didn't want to give any spoilers away in case nobody saw the original Star Wars. Clearly, Uncle Owen and Obi-Wan had a past.
That's right.
Anyway, so Guardians will open. We'll get to see how quickly the boarding groups and lightning lanes sell out for this. Will it be faster than Rise?
It'll be fast to start with. You know it will be.
It starts Friday, it starts probably, let's see, as of the recording of the show, it's not Friday yet, so I'm just going to say starts Friday. So hopefully we will get an idea by looking at it ourselves.
Yeah.
Are y'all going to try to ride it, Adam, when y'all come back off the cruise?
We're going to try to ride it before.
Okay.
And if we don't, then maybe after as well, but we'll see.
Gotcha.
So if you try it before, what day would that be?
Thursday, what day is that? June 2nd? Is that right?
Okay.
John, when are you
it is.
going?
My first day to check in there is Sunday the 5th.
Oh, okay. And ours is the 11th.
Yeah.
That's our day at sea.
So what day are you
See?
coming back?
C is for Captain. Well, we'll be back Monday on the 6th. Is that right? Why am I blanking?
Oh, you
Yeah,
just
we'll
doing
be back.
They're doing a
It's a 3-night.
Yeah,
okay.
3-nighter.
Gotcha.
Just
Okay.
a
So
weekend.
take off on Friday, come back on Monday.
quick cruise.
So you pull out on Friday evening, and you
Mm-hmm.
pull in early Friday morning.
Monday morning. Yes.
I mean Monday
Sounds
morning.
good.
Yes.
I'm not gonna go there. I was going to, but I'm leaving that one alone. Yeah, it's gonna be a short one, but I'm used to the short turnaround, so
I was going to say, I could have pulled a Michael Scotter there.
yeah. Speaking of what she said, I don't know how to go with this.
I don't know how you're going to
Speaking
edit this one.
Yeah, I know. Speaking about laying some track down, the Walt Disney World Railroad, they started laying some more track. Did you notice?
I did notice that. I saw it.
Barnstormer. They're finally starting to complete the track. So, any predictions on? Are we going to do a guess on the date to see who's going to
When the railroad comes
Yeah,
back?
let's do that. Let's do that
Okay.
for real.
We'll have to go back to the remind ourselves because I'm sure I'll forget.
It'll be
Probably
this year.
You talking about the
Okay,
railroad? Not
Here's the thing. Will the
railroad.
railroad... Okay, will the railroad come back before Tron?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to say
Okay.
October 1st,
You think it takes that long for the railroad?
maybe.
It depends.
thought
It probably also depends on weather and all that kind of stuff for how much they can get done.
They still gotta it's still an active construction zone. So are they gonna
exactly.
Are they gonna have it go through there while they're still doing construction? I don't know.
Okay, so are we betting on the train or are we betting on Tron or both?
Well, let's do
Oh,
both.
We're,
but
we're saying
train-
the train first.
The train possibly this year, late October, November, December.
Really? that
Tron
long?
next summer.
Try next summer. Okay. Give an exact date for the train.
An exact date?
Just pull a date out of your hat.
October.
October. I said October 1st. So
Well, you're probably going to win because they're probably going to try to do that.
No.
October the 1st and a half.
say Halloween night. They're
Yeah.
gonna do it.
I'm gonna
during the
be
party.
optimistic. I'm gonna go early. I'm gonna say for the first Halloween party, August the 12th. There we go.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Okay.
A soft
We shall
opening
see.
on September the 20th.
Oh, all right. There you have it. Maybe.
Train this year, Tron next year. How about that?
I still feel like Tron could be this year. I feel like it'll
You
be
gotta
October.
You got to bet it won't be this year.
It could be. I feel like they'll probably wait.
You
Just
think
like
they'll
a Ratatouille type situation. They're just gonna wait.
Yeah,
it
that's
out.
possible. You may have a point there. I may have to change my mind.
But it does, like, the ride itself looks almost done, but they still have a lot of the kind of pathway work and some other, I don't know. I'd say,
I think, and you know what, Adam, you make good sense on this. So let me rationalize what you just said. Okay.
Okay. Do it.
They had so many things planned for the 50th.
Yeah, ooh, exactly.
That didn't
there
work
you go.
out.
You're right.
that it makes sense that they stagger it now because it gives them something to say is new
Next year.
the next
There you
year.
go. That's right.
And yeah, because they won't have anything new after that.
Yeah,
I was going to say,
everything.
if you think about it, if my prediction's right, Guardians is opening what, May the 27th? And if I say summer of 2023 for Tron, it's been open for a full year. So it's not really taking away a lot of the glory from that.
Right.
It's going to have its own glory.
And to the point John just made, what's after Tron? The Journey of Water?
Yes.
That's going to be the big
The Epcot will
attraction.
be finished in that sense, I guess.
It'll be finished as
But-
far as, yeah.
Come to Disney in 2024 for the brand new Journey of Water walkthrough attraction.
I don't think they'll wait as long as summer for Tron, though. I think they're going to do spring break crowds. So I'm going to say March
Okay.
of 2023.
I'm going to go... I'm going to still say May. I'm going to go with May, sometime in May. Maybe early
About the
May,
same
though.
time? About the same
Yeah.
time as it is now? Or
Yeah,
early
May,
May,
I think I'm going to
obviously,
say early May just because it's
I'm
going
gonna
to
go
be
with-
ready.
Just for a grins, I'm going to go with this about the same time next year.
So you're going to go with Memorial Day weekend 2023.
Why not? Make it a
Yeah.
year apart.
That's a good guess.
Adam, you remember back the year was 2019, and there was
Yeah.
a lot of things on the docket for that year as well. And we actually were under the impression, we're like, well, the Skyliner is going to be first. That's going to be before Galaxy's Edge, and Galaxy's Edge won't be until, I can't remember whatever.
Oh,
and then all of a sudden they dropped the bombshell on us that Galaxy's Edge is opening in September.
Right.
Like, what?
But they opened
So-
it before. I think originally they would have waited till Rise was ready.
Right.
But they were like, well, we have this, Millennium Falcon's ready, so let's just accelerate it to get people interested again. in
Yeah.
Coming.
Hey, it technically was open, but it wasn't completed.
Wasn't-
Completely open. Yeah.
Hey, it was worth, opening at like 5 a.m. or something like that, apparently.
But what major? They don't really have anything major announced. Although, isn't D23 going to be later this year? It'll be interesting to see what they announce. Wonder if they'll announce an opening date for Tron there. Interesting.
It depends on how far along they are, right?
Will there actually be a new project that's going to be exciting too?
I would go with they'll probably
That's
at least
possible.
announce what Tron's the opening date of Tron, you would think.
Hopefully. But then, what's coming? Anything? Is anything coming?
I
New?
mean, not that we've heard,
Yeah.
other than the possibility of Encanto replacing the Treehouse, right? I mean,
Yeah, that'll be the big announcement, and or they'll do a Mary Poppins Spinner is coming back. That's going to be the big 2024
it's like
attraction,
the big announcement is going to be we're going to finish Epcot.
right?
That's the big announcement.
And it's going to be a shell of what we had planned back in the last D23.
Right. So
But anyway,
they're going to announce things that cost extra.
They'll find something else that costs extra. That's going to happen.
Yeah.
No doubt.
all right.
This is kind of interesting to me. I mean, I don't know if you want to highlight this, but this was titled Disney's Own Survey is a list of Walt Disney World's 50th anniversary shortcomings. Basically, in some recent surveys, they've been asking for feedback on the 50th celebration as to and offers a multitude of reasons as to why the celebration may have fallen below expectations. In particular, it points to a common complaint that the new nighttime shows are not as good as their predecessors, supposedly, and do not celebrate the 50th. Other notable responses suggest that the celebration was not special enough for the 50th, and it felt like just another day in the park, which is exactly what I said back in October. Lacking nostalgia, not celebrating classic Disney.
Yeah.
Let's see. Crowds made it difficult to enjoy the celebration, which I don't know what they expected there.
Right. I mean, I would expect crowds, even without a pandemic.
Yeah, this one was one that I had said the decor was limited, and it really felt like it. I didn't feel like they put very much into it.
Yeah. Put some ribbons on the castle.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Commemorative entertainment for the celebration was limited, so like stage shows, parades, all that good stuff. Which, and to be fair, the pandemic did probably affect that. They probably
Right.
had more stuff planned.
Right.
Long lines to purchase merchandise. Again, where have you people been?
Yeah. Also, shortage of merchandise, which is.
But I
another
mean, there was
pandemic issue.
long lines for merchandise before the 50th. Anytime they did something special, I mean, it was
Yeah,
always
anything
the way it was.
new is like 4-hour waits for popcorn buckets.
50th anniversary merchandise I wanted was unavailable. Got to be honest, a lot of it just didn't appeal to me so far.
Yeah, some of the retro merch, they have a little bit of retro merch. It's
Yeah.
pretty cool, but that's about it.
There were long lines to purchase the special food and beverage offerings. I mean, again, where have you been? That's just kind of like part of it. What are they supposed to do? Difficult to find the special food and beverage offerings. I don't know about that because I didn't really look for them. Not as good as other Disney celebrations. I would have said that too, actually. A lot of it just says not special enough is basically the bottom line that it is of all these answers.
That was an interesting point you brought up, though, about not as exciting, or what was the word you used, as other celebrations in the past.
Yeah.
Thinking back, we typically hit the anniversary years, a lot of them anyway. We still have merch that is around from the 10th, the 15th, 20th, 25th.
John's got a 15th visor
Yes, that I
Somewhere.
won.
that he
Oh,
won.
yeah.
John,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because for the 15th anniversary, I think it was every 15 minutes they were giving something away. And among those somethings could have been a brand new car.
So he walked around with a visor with a 9-volt battery taped to his head.
Pretty much.
Yep.
It did have a 9-volt battery in the back of my head, pretty much.
Ah, the 80s. What a great time. You have battery acid leaking out onto your head.
Of course, I was jealous.
Well,
too,
it was
so-
brand new. I would hope it would not have any acid problems. But
I'm gonna say nowadays it would probably be.
Yes.
I'm sure that visor is still around. I need to go.
I guarantee
look
you,
for
Mama still got it. It's probably in your old
It's
closet at the time.
it. Yeah, I'm sure. I need to go look for some stuff.
There is no John. There's no telling what's at Mama's house because she doesn't throw anything away.
Oh,
There's no
gosh,
telling.
talking about not throwing away.
I was just gonna say, and Adams probably can relate.
Yes.
So yes,
I found a 10th anniversary Mickey
See?
plush Mickey the other day, too, so.
Yeah, I remember
yeah.
finding a few things that said 10 years on it.
Yeah.
But I mean, gosh, they didn't even have like a catchy song for the 50th. I mean, they could have at least come up with that.
All right. What about Remember the Magic? That was, the 25th,
That was a
right?
catchy song. And
That
they
was a good
remembered
one.
the magic for like 5 years.
Yeah, exactly. But hey, it was that good, right?
I mean, you don't like the magic is calling.
Is
No.
that this one?
Yeah,
No.
See, it's not that
No,
catchy.
answer the call.
Yeah.
I just
Not
don't
as
find it
good.
that
Like-
catchy.
You like 15 years.
Exactly. That one was the catchiest one of all.
Sure.
It was very 80. It was very 80s, but
Yeah.
He's biased because he won a visor.
that's what it is.
That's exactly what it is.
You know, it's funny. I kind of caught a glimpse on the videos from then, like the cars that you could win. Right? It was like I don't know. It was like a Buick LeSabre or something. I don't know. It was like,
A
I
95
can't remember what it was.
Buick LeSabre.
I don't remember. It was.
Green
It
blue.
was. Well, this was 86, right?
Mhm.
87.
Golly. Adam, how old were you?
In
One?
what year? 86, 87?
Oh, it was 80. Well, it was 87 when we went, but I
Yeah,
think the
I was a year
celebration
old.
had started in 86. Is what I was getting.
I was like 15 months old.
Yeah.
Which we
And he
have
was-
video from that.
Yes,
we
he was
do, 'cause-
talking- he was
oh,
talking
no,
to the
'cause-
fish.
No, Mama's got a video that starts with me and John and her on the People Mover, and he's wearing his visor.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Boy, you haven't forgotten about this visor. There's some
I was
some
jealous.
deep history there.
Envious.
Yes, I was jealous. Of course I was.
I feel like we've entered a therapy session here. Where
No, I went to. He was like, here, your ticket, one of mine. I'm looking at kind of like in the Adam Sandler movie. This is bull. Yeah.
Anyway,
This is bull.
and we went to breakfast at the Crystal Palace that morning as well.
Oh, wow.
That's another thing we've been trying to find a character breakfast, and they're tough.
Yeah.
So, because it's popular again. Well,
I remember.
And we-
So I was there the night before Mickey's. Where you can actually hug him. At Town Square Theater. 5-minute wait the whole time we were there. The next day, it's like an hour.
oh, I bet.
And people are like weeping because they finally could hug Mickey again.
Right.
So yeah, anything with characters is like nuts right now.
I think
I was
we're
gonna
gonna
say-
try to do a garden
gonna say?
grill.
Oh,
But
Garden
She
Garden
has
Grill.
a she has a Chef Mickey's, but I think we're gonna try to do a garden grill too. We're gonna see.
Okay.
I was just thinking about that too. How we had during that same era those like it almost felt like steel strollers with the blue covering
Yes.
whatever it was all over
Those, you can hear how heavy those things were. They were like
it.
you could run somebody over with those.
It wasn't literally steel people. I was just making fun of how well built it was, and probably in
Of
comparison.
course,
to
it was well built. That's the problem. They don't do that anymore.
Yeah. Well, it would also cost a lot to make it like that now.
Right. The newer ones are better than the ones they've had for like the last 20 years. The newest ones with the Mickey
but-
and Minnie
Well,
on
the
them.
material though is still.
Yeah, it's
You
still
know,
crappy.
they
but-
brought them in that week we were there in January.
Yeah.
We saw them.
Much better though. At least they look better. Put it that way.
Yeah.
Have you tested them out?
No, we don't. We
Oh,
just
yeah.
bring our own.
We do too.
We've rented them once, but then it's like, why don't we just bring our own?
I just
Well, I
load
did-
the Bob up and take him with us to Florida.
I haven't rented from Disney thus far, but I have rented from that outside source, that Magical Strollers or whatever. That at that time they could bring them to you and pick them up at the same place, which they don't do that anymore. You'd have to get it back to them or something like that. I can't remember how it works. And you have to be there when the stroller arrives. It's not one of those things where the resort will keep it for you and then give it out to you. But
So here's one of the rumors that recently came out about annual pass holders needing to show proof on the app rather than your card for dining, merch, discounts, and all that.
proof on the app.
Yeah. Which I think makes sense. The reason why, and I've had this happen to me, was on the back of the card, it has the year on it, but unless you do it January 1st every year to December 31st, you're going to have a gap between your renewal dates. It's not going to be exactly within that year. So sometimes they don't know if you're using an expired card or not, because sometimes they check that.
Well, the experience that I had in the last however many months it's been was that when I said they very rarely just checked for. I mean, it was only a couple of times that they even checked.
Most
For the
of the
actual
time, I've noticed it's at when you're buying merch, because that's the bigger discount.
So yeah, it's the only one that's really worth it. I mean,
Do y'all actually show y'all's card, or you just use your magic band? Do you have to show the
You
card?
usually have to prove with your
Okay.
card.
well, see, that night that we went to Ohana when we first got there in October, they basically told them, I was like, yeah, I have it, but I don't have the pass yet. I got to go get it activated. And they were like, oh, that's all right. I'm giving it to you anyway.
Yeah, a lot of the dining, they don't care. They just are like, yeah, it's fine. They barely look at it.
Because I actually could have gotten the same discount with the Visa anyway. So that's the thing with dining I've run into. Like the AP, I very rarely even get to use it because I also use the Disney card and it's the same discount.
Right, for dining, yeah.
Yeah.
It's good for the merch, though. It is good for the merch, but that's where they're more strict on it.
Yeah, that's about the only thing it's really good for. Is merch.
But that wouldn't surprise me that you'd either have to use the app or you'd have to scan your band or something, and it would show what the dates are or something. Yeah.
I'm sure. Yeah. Somebody has tried that several times for them to try to start.
Yeah. But any loophole that might exist, people are going to use it or find it.
Of course.
I left it in the stroller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What, your 2012 annual pass? You trying to pass over on us?
I should have brought the last one I had previous to see if it worked. It was a paper one. Actually,
Does it
so
look the
probably
same? Oh, I was going to say, does it look the same? You might.
I don't even think they give paper ones anymore.
Probably not.
Uh,
We are in a paperless world.
oh, and I had to sign the back of it too. That's another thing I had to do.
Right.
Your own Disney Social Security card.
Basically.
Kind of.
Did you guys see this thing about the mystery construction over at Blizzard Beach? They're doing...
Mystery
doing-
construction.
Yeah, there's some
Do
construction happening. They did some of those balloon tests, like the floating balloons, to show like height from different angles for tests. So There's apparently land clearing right now next to Blizzard Beach with some sort of mystery construction.
Huh.
What is that going to be? I just saw that story today. I was just curious, like,
Theme
It doesn't-
park number 5 coming.
is right theme park number 5 is it a new Skyliner station for the new line, the Animal Kingdom line?
Yeah.
Oh, come on. Surely they will expand it one day. I mean, really?
They're not going to expand it that fast. It's only been in operation not even 3 years yet.
Or that far? That's a long way.
How long is it from TTC to Epcot?
Yeah, it barely
How many-
works though. That Epcot
I was
line.
going to say, how many years before they did a monorail to Epcot? Well, let's see. It was
No.
10
I
years.
said, how far is it from TTC to Epcot?
I have no idea.
And then you got to think about the circle that goes all the way around
Yeah.
and then goes to the state. I'm just saying, they can build a Skyliner track cheaper than they can build another monorail track. You see what I'm saying, though?
cheaper,
Yes.
but it doesn't work half the time. The Epcot line has trouble.
If they do anything with the monorails, they need a new fleet. That's what they need. They don't need new tracks. They need a new fleet is the next step they need with those.
Need new
They need,
trains.
they need- yes, they need a more modern version.
I mean, my point of the whole story was, how much do you think that would cost in this day and time to build a monorail track that long compared to building a Skyliner track that long?
No, they would never build a monorail that long. They would find a way.
Crap,
to,
no, they wouldn't.
They'd find a way to.
Skyliner.
They'd find a way to connect it like Epcot or something if they ever did that.
How long is that concrete gonna last for those monorail track? For
Oh, it's been there for.
50 years.
Yep.
More
Well,
than that, really.
I guess the monorail loop there is, but how long?
Well,
What did they?
have
Did they
you
already
looked at
have
it?
the one built for Epcot before it was made?
It was around the
It
time
was
it was constructed.
simultaneous. Yeah.
Yeah.
But still, that's pretty old. But what? Concrete will last 100 years at least, right?
Have you paid close attention to the beams on the track? It's had repair work done.
It has, but I'm just saying in
Yeah.
general, like, isn't it going to deteriorate pretty bad at some point where they'd have to replace more than just sections at a time?
No, not necessarily. Not if they stay on top of it.
That's what you. Oh, sorry. Yes, go ahead. There's another thing. The plexiglass has been removed from all queues at Walt Disney World, the dividers. So now you can not feel claustrophobic in all the lines anymore.
I was just saying there was only a couple that I kind of felt it was a tight squeeze. I mentioned those a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, Grand Fiesta Tour.
Yeah, that one came to mind, and so did that section of Runaway right before the trains.
Yeah,
That one was pretty tight.
Mine Train had some towards the end. Slinky Dog had some that were pretty tight. at
Yeah,
times.
right there when you're almost at the train. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a few spots there.
You know, I remember the last time I was in line there, the couple or the group, the family in front of us actually was just thought it was so funny listening to Slinky Dog speak in Spanish. They were just thought it was hilarious.
Oh,
When he did the
yeah,
Spanish.
it is.
When he did that.
It is.
They thought it was particularly funny though.
It is very funny.
I was like, yeah, it was funny once upon a time, but I guess it was new to them. So
If only Jim Varney had lived long enough to do that voiceover.
well, they
That
missed
would've
it
been
by
cool.
just a few years.
Only about 20 years. That's about it.
You know, rehearsals are underway for Hoop-Dee-Doo,
Oh, yeah. I heard.
and
I did see that too.
I think reservations actually open tomorrow, right?
Oh, that's another thing. That's, yeah.
May 26th. Excuse me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or not tomorrow, but probably yesterday or 2 days ago at this point when you're hearing this.
I almost thought about, because there's another trip I'm doing later, and I thought about booking a Hoop-Dee-Doo, but nobody wants to do it but me, so
What?
I know.
Now the price,
They've never experienced
It's a
it.
big
then.
group. Yeah.
Have they ever
price.
experienced it?
the price has gone up, of course.
Of
course it
course.
has.
Where'd you find the price? What is it up to now?
Well, it actually only went up $2 from its last performance in 2020. But
Adam, you can't talk nobody into the Hoop-Dee-Doo.
all right, so
Unlimited margaritas didn't do it, so I don't know what else to tell people.
They have that at the Hoop-Dee-Doo?
Yeah,
Oh,
there's a
Bottomless.
margarita. Bottomless margarita and beer and wine too,
beer,
but
right?
They must not like to
Good.
eat chicken and strawberry
Ribs.
shortcake. And ribs,
ribs
yeah.
too. Those ribs are good.
all right. So what I was about to say, Category 1 seating
Yeah,
is now
sorry.
$74.
Okay, so that's the
Category-
balcony, right?
Yeah, category 2. No, that's actually the best. That's on the floor. Category 1.
Wait, only
Category-
74?
Yeah,
Oh, thought it was
per
more than
person. I mean, that's still pretty stout. I mean, it's
It
not
is,
as bad
but
as you
I-
would think. But
No.
category 2 at 69 and category 3 at $66.
It's not bad at all.
Which category 3 would be the one upper
That's balcony.
back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Two is I think there's some of the upper, but it's closer to the stage. But the 2 is usually the back.
Yeah, the
the
back
floor.
perimeter of the
Yeah.
back area. Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's
there's not
bad.
really a bad seat in the place, though, in my opinion. I mean, it's more fun on the floor, but there's not a bad seat in the place, really.
Right. Last time we went, because we had smaller kids, we did the balcony, and it was fine. It was wonderful. They did come up there once to the balcony and just sort of interacted with folks, but most of the time, if you're not the kind that likes to interact with the show, sit in the balcony.
I don't think we've
And-
ever had much interaction other than Dad being chosen to be on the finale.
Well, that's
And then the next time we went back, he wanted to get chose again.
Yeah.
Right. You
Which
pretty
part
much
do you
have
thi-
to be category 1 for that, right?
We might have been category 1. I don't remember. We were 1 or 2. What part was he chosen for? Do you know, Adam? Do you remember?
I
know
don't,
James
because I
does.
wasn't there that night, was I? I don't think I was there that
What
time.
part would you guess he would be chosen for?
There's one that's obvious that it would be, and I can't think of the name.
Okay, so the fairy at the end.
Yes, I think he was a fair. I mean,
Pick
basically,
a person
yeah.
of a certain build for.
He was
these.
wearing the tutu when he came out.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think they call it fairy.
You know, Jenna actually went to
Or Angel
college
or
with a
something.
guy that played Johnny for years.
On the hoop.
I mean, yeah. Mm-hmm. For many years. So, she like. I mean,
The character that needs to be good though, if you're going to have a very entertaining show, is if you have a good 6 bits,
Mm-hmm.
a good 6 bits and a dolly, and I forgot what's the blonde's name, Claire.
Oh, that's the one.
So, that was sometimes if you have someone who we had a really good one a long time ago. The way she could do the laugh was hilarious.
Yeah. So is the kids' price changed too?
It didn't specify.
I thought kids were like half, or not.
They're probably all the
not quite
same.
half.
Probably
the
that's the
adults.
price. Yeah.
Oh, I hope not. Because my kids ain't eating $60 worth of food.
crap no.
Well, it does say here. It confirms, Adam, what you were talking about. It says unlimited draft beer, wine, and sangria are available for 21 years of age and up.
Did I say
So-
margarita earlier? I meant sangria.
You did, but
Yeah, I meant
I knew
sangria.
what you meant.
Yeah, right. Sangria.
I think it's funny how this reads it because it says soft drinks are also included.
They had
Yeah.
it at the end.
Right, but if
if
you-
you want soda, you can have soda.
If you want to get your money's worth, order the 8 sangrias. You sit
You know,
down.
but if you don't, just tap yourself up on fountain cokes. Yeah, that's what you'll get.
Right.
Get yourself some diabetes.
You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and eat $20 worth of food, and we'll get the rest.
Yeah, exactly.
The dish they show looks really good. I mean, of course, ribs and chicken. So
Yeah.
And that
They
strawberry
still have the
shortcake,
strawberry. I
too.
was finna say, they still have it.
It's got to be.
That was the one where your dad and my dad and Papa and all them went over, and Dad took the whole strawberry shortcake and started eating it for himself, and the waitress said, "No, that's for the whole table."
yeah, he's like, you're not gonna let them have any.
Yeah,
Right.
You don't let them have any.
I
Oh, I thought
remember
it was for me.
Yeah.
He's like, well, there's such big portions. I thought we were all getting one.
Well, I'm sure they brought some.
I remember the story. I've always heard that one. Any other news, or is that a good transition into talking about the old days again?
Well, we're talking about the old. We kind of done that this whole
I mean,
episode.
basically. Actually, yeah.
To
this is
some
kind of a
degree. We even
retro
started
show.
out. It's been a retro show. I think it's good. Let's go with it.
We sort of did this last week. We were talking about some of our memories of the Polynesian. I think we talked about some of the buildings we stayed at, or ones that we typically always stayed at when we were kids. But
Even room numbers in some cases because they're on the videos.
oh yeah, I
Someone's
remember
saying
'cause-
them.
Right? Yeah. I don't remember what they were, but
Oh, I do.
I bet James remembers the one from when Mama first brought that camera in 1987. We were talking about
2922.
exactly.
Yes. Yes.
Because she was on the camera, she was saying say our room number is what was it, Mama? That's what she said. There's like 2922. 2922.
You know they have the display set up in the lobby round of the old room numbers. So I took a picture of them. Yeah, they're over there close to the wall next to the boutique and all that, and
Yeah.
curving around. But anyway, they have it like with the old decals for the room numbers.
Yeah.
And I took pictures of them. I told Jenna, I said, I'm taking pictures of these. I said, because I guarantee you Mama stayed in one of these rooms. I want to see if she has.
I'm sure she'd remember.
the
Yeah.
decal. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Did you find one that had 2922?
No, I didn't.
That'd be hilarious if you did.
Well, we
that.
do know that number, by the way, was in the Oahu building, which is now Takilau. So we could go in there and find that exact same room if we wanted to. We'll just go up there and knock on the door. Hey, can we come in?
To this totally renovated room, not
Yeah.
from the 80s. Yeah.
That's someone else is staying in.
I mean, hey,
Yeah.
it'd be the
Like
same.
it did before.
Or I could just, I could actually, we should book a trip at the Poly and go on touring plans and find
Find
and
out
request
what would be
room
that same room.
2922. Yes.
And then take Mama and go,
Request
guess
it.
where we're staying?
Wow,
Which room?
that'd be funny. Say hey from the poo.
That's it.
I remember that when we got. Oh god! I remember that when we got on the bottom floor was like 1945. I think that's
Just
right.
ask her, she can tell you. You know, working at the phone company all those years, she memorizes that stuff. So
Yeah, she knows numbers. Yeah.
But anyway, I think it was around that same section though. We seem to have gotten a couple of times. It was because it's right there facing the
she requested it.
what we called the duck pool at the time. 'Cause-
Yes, the ducks would always be in there in the morning.
yeah, they probably still are. So
The other, well, again, talking old history, we always mentioned this before, but the John Lennon room that he stayed at was the Hawaii building, I believe. Of course, it had to be, right?
I thought it was Fiji.
But people know which room it was. It was a ground level room. I can't remember.
Oh yeah, I do remember Adam the Woo going there.
Yeah, so people figured out what room it is.
Yeah.
It just made me think of that because obviously somebody.
Which building was it in?
He said he thought it was Hawaii, and he might be right. I mean, I don't know where I got Fiji from. For some
Oh,
reason, I was
actually,
thinking Fiji.
okay, I Googled it, and it says it was a ground floor corner room in the Samoa Longhouse, formerly
Samoa.
Hawaii.
Oh, okay.
Is that what it currently is, Samoa, I guess?
I don't know. They've changed the names.
Isn't that the one that's over there close to where the boat ramp and all that is?
Apparently it
Isn't
was
that one?
room 1601.
Assuming
was the
history is accurate.
John Lennon room. Yeah. If Google is accurate. It was 1974.
When he supposedly signed away the papers.
Right. That dissolved the Beatles officially. On paper. Even though they'd pretty much already been dissolved by then.
Yeah, he just made it official.
Yeah.
Was he like the last to sign, I guess? Or
Oh. Okay, so Samoa is the one that's right below the Hawaii building, and it's over by the pool, the volcano pool. It's
Okay.
the shorter longhouse.
But it's not... Really?
Not the shortest longhouse, but shorter longhouse. We spent a long time talking about this John Lennon thing, but I wanted to mention some about the eating at Polynesian that we've done over the years. Of course, Ohana, the character breakfast. I remembered a lot of those over the years, and when I ate dinner there recently, it brought back a lot of memories.
Yeah, but it's only been Ohana since 94?
Okay,
I don't remember
I
what it
think
was
that's right.
before. What was it?
what
It was
called before?
Pepite Veranda Bay or Pepite Bay Veranda, something like that.
There was another place on the outside there that served like a buffet break. What was it called?
I was thinking that
Tangaroa
too.
Terrace.
Was that
Well,
what
there
it
was a
was?
Tangaroa Terrace. It was a separate building you're talking about, yes.
Yeah, but it was like a breakfast, right?
It served, it did, it served, well, we only ate breakfast there, but I'm sure it served more than just breakfast.
Oh yeah, okay. But
Is
I
that what
remember that.
turned into the arcade years later?
No. It's
It
still
was
there.
like an event center kind of thing or a meeting
Right.
place.
It's connected.
Yeah.
It's kind of connected to that building. That's the same as the. Well, it's not even the arcade now. I mean, I don't know what it is now. Right. But it was. They were sort of all connected there. But the Tangaroa Terrace, after they closed it as a full-time restaurant, and they made it just kind of like for events for a while. And I don't know if they still use it for that now or not. Truthfully, I'm not sure that they're using it for anything now.
I don't think they are.
It's not listed on the map at all.
Yeah. I don't know
It
what
may
they're
be
doing
just
with
a
that
storage
building.
closet.
That's where they could build a DVC tower, or just build it right, tear that building down and build a DVC tower.
It ain't that big.
Well,
Not
if you
quite
build
big
it
enough.
up, you can build it 20
that's
stories
true.
high.
I can do that.
Yeah, it's not huge, but
It's funny you mention that because right around that area is where the guy with the DVC booth used to stay.
Yeah, it was in
Trying to
that
get you to
general
sign
area.
up for DVC. Yeah.
oh yeah, right.
That's
Yep.
another thing you
Whatever.
can tell about that area in particularly is how much wider the paths are compared to what they used to be
Oh yeah.
on the grounds.
What about where we used to always watch the electric water pageant,
I don't know what that is.
the water show?
There you go. I'm not.
We saw it.
That totally
Don't-
sounded like a Mitch answer, didn't it? No, he said that.
Yes,
Like,
it
I don't know what that is.
No, that's our childhood answer. I thought you said you wanted to reminisce. I'm
Sorry.
reminiscing, not the electric water pageant.
Well, for the listeners out there, the electric water pageant, but we called it the water show.
Yeah, forever.
Very simplistic answer.
Right, because it was a show on the water.
On the water. Yeah. Very.
Original.
I remember we used to go up on that hill and watch it up there a lot,
And I
Yeah,
believe
that's
there
what
was
or the beach.
there was like I think there was some hammocks and stuff up there, wasn't there?
Feels like
No, it was very. When we first started doing this, it was not
just
used for really
a grassy
anything.
knoll. When
Yeah, pretty much.
But, okay, I'm sorry. I wasn't going back to when I was 4.
It wasn't. No, it was like that on up until probably when we went that time that I graduated from high school was when they started seeing things like weddings up there.
Oh.
Now it has a bench and a walk and an actual walking path. We used to just walk through the grass to get up on that little hill.
But now you're just looking at bungalows when you look out over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. That's the sad part.
Unless you could stay in one of those, which I would totally love to do.
I would too.
Gosh, that would be amazing.
It would be cool.
You most definitely cannot see the water show from that angle anymore.
Well, if you're in a bungalow, though, that'd be the best view of the water show ever. I'd be tempted to like jump out into the water and swim over to the boat.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah, let's don't do it. I don't want to
Let's
get
do
banned.
it. No, I'm talking about let's get
Oh.
us a bungalow stay.
Oh, okay.
How many people does it sleep?
It does sleep more than
12.
I'm saying how many? There's 3 of us, and how many youngins and wives? No, I'm just kidding.
yeah, too many.
It may not,
We
it
have
may
to
not
get 2
be-
bungalows.
I don't think it's 12. I think it's probably more like 10.
I don't even think it's 10. It's probably like 8.
Well, it depends. I mean, some of the times when they say that you can sleep this many, what they mean is like you can like they give you the very maximum. Like you can squeeze in this many, pretty much in some cases.
Well, somebody can sleep in the hot tub outside.
I mean, if you want to talk about the old days when we fit people into 2 rooms, like well beyond the actual fire code, if you know what I mean.
Of course.
Oh, right. Oh, did we?
You don't recall?
What is it? About $3,000, $3,500 a night for the bungalows.
It says it sleeps 8 adults.
Okay.
Eh.
He's like, yeah, we can increase that. You can get at least 15 in there.
1 king bed, 1 queen bed, 1 queen size pull down, and 2 single pull down beds.
It's like youngins that are going to be in some sleeping bags.
He's like, does that include the people sleeping on the porch, on the deck?
Yeah, and in the
In the hot tub.
in the hot tub or whatever it is.
I mean, it'd be cool to
Hot tub.
stay there, but phew, that's ridiculous price.
Yeah, it's probably at least 2,500 or more. I'm sure it's more than that now. Anyway,
Yeah.
another thing I was thinking of was, were you guys? I don't remember ever doing this, but I feel like we used to swim in the water on the beach, or no? It used to be accessible too, but
I think
It used to be
we did.
accessible, but I don't remember really swimming in it.
there's pictures of people swimming in it. But
Yeah, I do. I remember that. I remember we may have gotten in it, but I wouldn't really say like we spent like tons of time in it. Yeah.
I'll say, I know where we swim in the murky water at Callaway Gardens, about what you do over there.
Right. That's very similar, except I don't think
Yes.
there's risk of gators at Callaway Gardens.
Yeah, I don't think there's any wildlife really. Nothing too dangerous in there.
You know, it's funny you say that because I really don't. It's not standing out in my head that we did it, but I mean, we may have.
Right.
Well, it's not likely we did it, say, at night. I don't recall that. So
Sure. But they did have, like, there's pictures of people in it, and of course they
Oh,
did
yeah,
have that
all
wave
over it.
machine
yeah.
for a few years. But that was probably way before our time. When they,
I mean, let's be honest. If they had even thought about it, they wouldn't have recommended anybody get in that water. I mean, not for plenty of reasons.
yeah. And so we were there before, like, We have pictures of Grand Floridian under construction there in '87, and the wedding pavilion years later when it opened.
Yep.
So we remember all the changes there.
Mm-hmm.
I do remember Mama standing in the close to Ohana, where Ohana is now. It used to be the ticket booth, or it was right there on that floor, on the second floor,
Yeah.
and buying us a ticket. Well, I think the adult ticket back then was $40
Yeah.
for a day to go to Epcot.
Oh wow.
Yep. Because I was standing in line with her for some reason that one stands out to me.
Do you guys know the story of? Well, I mean, I'm sure you were all there. I probably wasn't even born yet, but my brother getting his head stuck in the railing at the.
I
I've
remember it.
vaguely.
Didn't that?
I remember him talking about it.
Okay, yeah, that's all I've heard is the story, but I've heard it was upstairs in the lobby above.
That's what Mom said recently too. So
Okay.
it was. I don't know how that could have happened when I look at those, unless it was different then. I can't think of it how it's done in the top of my head, but
I remember too when we were little, we would always use the stairs versus the little elevator, the tiny elevators in the corner. We would always use the stairs.
yeah, if those elevators definitely, even to this day, scream that they're from the 1970s.
Yeah.
God Almighty, it's terrible.
They're super slow,
You know what?
tiny.
And I didn't until I started taking strollers. Never really paid that much attention to it. And y'all probably didn't either.
What's that?
No,
Until you started taking
the elevator.
strollers.
Yeah.
The elevators.
No,
Never.
never.
We always
used
took the stairs,
exactly.
but you can't do it with a stroller. And
Those
yes, that
gigantic
elevator
stairs.
is a pain in the butt.
It is.
Yes.
It can be.
No, it is.
Do you remember, James, by chance? We've stayed just one time in recent memory, or not even that recent. We're talking 20 years ago. And we
Yeah.
stayed at Rarotonga was what it was called, but it was right next to the main lobby. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Because we stayed on the
Yeah.
second floor facing the pool.
No, I do remember. Because
Yeah.
I've always
I do.
wanted to stay in that building.
And the
I
difference,
do remember it.
the difference between that building, because it was an older one, and of course the ones that we were used to staying in, like your Oahu / Takilau, Pago Pago / Rapa Nui, because it was
Right,
called
right.
Rapa Nui at one
Those
time.
newer.
All those buildings, is that the hallways are more narrow. The
Oh,
elevators,
yeah.
of course, in turn were smaller, and the
Oh my
rooms were
gosh.
slightly smaller.
Yeah, the
were-
elevators were
'cause they were
so
older.
tiny.
No,
Yeah.
but I do remember that because I think, if I'm not mistaken, we were like, our room was closer to the Great Ceremonial House
Yeah, it was right
than
next
it
door.
was. Yeah, it wasn't. I mean, I'm talking about where our actual room was located in the building was
Well-
really close to the Great Ceremonial House compared to the
It-
size of the building.
It was almost midway. It was facing the pool, right? Because you could see the pool from
I
there.
know.
But it was almost
I remember.
midway into the building, almost. Not quite.
Oh,
so it's
we
still
were on
not
the
far.
second floor.
Yeah, second floor.
We were on the ground floor. I remember. We were not on the ground floor.
Well, we're on. Actually, we might have been on the third floor.
No, I do remember that.
Yeah, when I was in Tuvalu building, because that's an old building, could barely get the stroller in the elevator. It was so small. It was like a closet. Felt like it was so tiny.
Can you imagine what that was like back in the day?
Golly.
Which building?
Tuvalu, the one.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
one.
yeah,
Of
yeah.
the, it's one of
I
the
know
old
which one you're
ones
talking about. Yeah.
by the water. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Adam, you must have been like the only one of us to ever stay on the left. I think,
Yeah, that's the only
That's
time
what-
I've ever stayed on the left side.
or the
was
west
that
side.
one.
I guess.
I know. I was talking to Mom about that not too long ago. I was like, "Did we ever stay left?" She's like, "Well,
Yeah.
I did back in the '70s." I
Yeah.
was like, well, "I'm talking about since we've been alive." Or,
Yeah, it's almost always been the same building, even almost
Right.
most of the time.
Well, it's probably because she found the building she liked, and that's what
and
she
she
kept
calls
going.
and requests it. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Well, truthfully, the odds too are pretty good because that building has the most rooms from what I've seen. I mean, it's the largest of the longest of the longhouses is
Yeah. by
Takilau.
far.
Yeah,
That one and probably Hawaii are the two. Or no, the newest on the other side. Morea, right? It's probably a long one.
it's not. It's not as
Maria's, because I know Maria and Pago Pago pretty good. Maria's, I mean, I'd say it's like a medium-sized building. It's not a real big one.
Takilau is like two longhouses joined together. I mean, you just look at the layout of it.
I like where Maria and Pago Pago is because
Yeah.
just of the, your walking distance TTC, you're not that far. You're really not that far to the Great Ceremonial House. And if you get a room like we did, got lucky and got one on Waterside, Bayside, oh man, it's awesome.
Yeah, the
just
view
sitting
is
on
awesome,
the porch
yeah.
and looking at. Oh yeah,
Watch the ferry boats go by, I'm sure. Yeah.
I sat out there and did it for 3 days.
Go right
It
into
was,
its
it was
path.
very, very relaxing. Yes.
Well, I was going to say,
Love that view.
one of the things that's good about Pago Pago is you have your own parking lot, too.
True. I used the
Yeah. Because
DVC parking lot the whole time we were there.
talk about tiny parking lot. The main parking lot is like
Yes.
hard to get in and out of.
Yeah, the
As soon as I come in the main gate, I turn right and go up into that parking lot
Right.
over there. Every time. Every
Yeah.
time.
It's yeah. I
It's-
usually just park in the old.
It's tiny
Big-
in the sense
big
that it's
one.
tighter, and the spaces are, it was meant to fit as many spots as possible.
But as big as cars were back in the 70s, like
Right, and it was
What
still
in the
no,
world?
yeah. People just thought it was normal, I guess.
I don't
I
know.
think the first time we ever went, we stayed DVC. Not this time, but the first time. And Jenna, we drove up to the front, put the luggage out, and she's like, I said, go stay with the luggage. I'm going to go park. I leave the Great and go all the way back over to that parking lot in front of Pago Pago, and then I'll walk all the way back. I was like, I'm getting my parking place over here because it's because we were staying over that way.
Yeah.
I'm not going to, no. Yes. I love that parking area over there. Much easier to get in and out.
Here's a question, because we talked. John and I mentioned this before about Polynesian being overall probably the best located resort as far as getting to and from the parks. I don't know if that's the same after Skyliner, but overall,
That's a good question, actually.
what would be the best building at the Polynesian to stay at for location wise?
In my opinion, Maria or Pago Pago. Pago
Cause
Pago, whatever you want to call
This
it.
is where I would make the argument for. It depends probably on a certain section. I make the argument for Takilau because it's kind of in the middle.
Okay, but wait a minute. If you're a monorail rider, right? Or if you're a boat
close
rider,
to the main
already,
line.
you can just ride the resort monorail, not the
From
resort monorail,
TTC.
but the express monorail.
Right.
Or you can, go to the Epcot monorail.
Yeah.
And where we are is really not that far from the bus stop. If you want to do that. And like I said, with the excellent parking there you are at your car.
Okay.
Right.
So I'm going to go with those two buildings.
See, Takilau is. Here's my argument for Takilau. It's like I said, it's a little more centered. You've got the pool to the one side. You have that bus stop that you're talking about is actually closer to Takilau if you go out the side.
Okay. Well, okay.
It's only slightly longer to get to the TTC. and it's actually slightly closer to the main lobby. It's more centrally located.
Okay.
Just saying.
Well,
I see your
opinion.
argument.
Everybody has their own opinion.
I would just pick the Hawaii building just so I could, because that comes with the lounge, the club level lounge. That's the only reason I picked that.
I'm sure we could find a number of rooms on property that would be
Oh yeah.
probably good now.
Of course, if I could pick any room at Polynesian right now, it would be a bungalow, but
True. Just
That'd
because
be
we've
the
never
one.
done it,
right, because I'd want
Yeah.
to try it. But
and I would like to do that too. Also, just
Yeah.
because we've never done it.
I mean, I could make my argument for contemporary being the most convenient. I mean,
I honestly
Yeah.
I like staying at Contemporary. The first time we took Emily, we stayed at Contemporary, and I enjoyed it.
I love
it was very nice.
any monorail resort. I'll take it.
think about it. If you're on a floor that's not too far from the monorail, like right above or right below, right? Or, well, I guess you can't be below, but just above it, we'll say, and somewhere close to the station, that would make the convenience of, going down, and you could walk to Magic Kingdom if you wanted. Or you could just
We
take
did.
the
We
monorail.
actually did it a couple
Yeah.
times.
Or you could take the monorail
Yeah.
to TCC to go to Epcot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they used to have bus stops at the TTC. I don't think they really have it for that anymore, do they?
Has
Not too
any
much.
of y'all stayed at Bay Lake Tower? Have got any of y'all stayed at Bay Lake?
I did in
did.
2010. Mm-hmm. 2010.
Did you enjoy Bay Lake Tower?
I liked it. Yeah, the rooms are great. We could see the water show from that room too. It was nice.
Okay. I'm glad you called it that.
Yes. Well, I have to now. I've established that.
No,
it's,
but I mean, we me and Jenna she likes digging for the DVC, so. I'm
pick,
just trying to fill
Bay
it
Lake
out.
Tower. If you,
Well, that
totally.
or she's digging into Grand Floridian too, so because that's something we've never done over there either.
You probably get a better price at Bay Lake Tower. Though.
Oh, I'm sure.
But
I've actually enjoyed Wilderness Lodge too. I really have. I mean that
I
boat
see there-
that boat launch is not too bad as far as like if you just want to the boat dock goes over to Contemporary if you wanted to get off there and take the monorail the rest of the way if you wanted to.
yeah, I've been itching to get back to Wilderness Lodge because I want to check out Geyser Point as well. The new bar there. Lounge.
Guys,
It looks cool.
I've seen it a couple of times.
I
looks
like
good.
the atmosphere there in general.
Yeah, I do too. It's a good
I
resort.
thought it was fun.
Anyway, I know we're at time here, but last thing I did want to mention was we haven't talked about Captain Cook's yet,
Oh yeah.
or
You know, I go
what's
back.
new. Yeah,
I
ahead.
go back and remember the configuration from back in the day.
Mhm.
Because I remember there's a picture, actually, I think it was roughly 1992, of Daniel and myself sitting there looking at one of the park maps at one of those,
Outdoor
at-
tables.
Well, no, it was an indoor table.
Okay.
Because you remember they had it right there. You could walk in from the inside of the building side, and it's not too far from where they had almost like an assembly line, I guess, where you went to get the food and everything. I think I prefer, I mean, even though obviously the old configuration, let's be honest, it was kind of small and it was not the best use of the space, but it just is nostalgic, right? So it's obviously better now, but
I don't know. I kind of like the old one. I do.
well, I mean, it was, like I said, it was more intimate. It was tight. It was not near as much space and they needed more space for seating.
Right. What I do now for Captain Cook's is at night I'll go to Trader Sam's, the terrace outside,
Yeah.
mobile order Captain Cook's, and eat the food from Captain Cook's, but of course have the drinks at Trader Sam's.
From
The best of both worlds, and that's like my tradition now. Which your tradition is to go to Kona for breakfast. right?
Usually,
Or-
yeah, but I
Which
think
I love.
there's a possibility we may break that this go around. So
Yikes.
I know it. Yikes! Yeah, we're not actually staying there, so
Yeah.
this time, so
You know, having the mugs that we used to always get and just go to the
Oh,
drink
yeah,
machine.
the resort mugs. Yeah,
Yeah,
back in the day.
Even though we would sometimes take them on multiple trips, not just not per trip, and back then.
Before they put like an RFID chip in all the cups.
Yeah,
so that
something
you
like
can't do
that. Yeah, back when you could get away with it.
it. Yeah.
As
Can't do
Daddy,
that now.
as Dad said in one of those videos, he came out of there when I was filming. He said, "I have my stolen coffee." That's what he said. That's what he said. He's like, "I have my stolen coffee."
You still pay for it
and
though,
of course, Mama was like, "Shut up."
right?
She was telling her she would have have my stolen coffee.
That's
Give me a
hilarious.
free refill. That cup from 1986. No, I'm just kidding.
The stuff we used to do. That's so funny.
Yeah. I
We
just,
paid.
In their minds, they're going, "Look, we paid enough to stay here. They could give me a free cup of coffee."
Right.
You know what? They ought to be. We ought to think about that now. So
Yeah, but as much money as we've spent.
from what I've heard, their deal that they've had with Coca-Cola, I don't know if it's still in place, but one of the deal they used to have with Coca-Cola, they were practically like whatever they charged for drinks, they were just about pure profit for Disney almost.
it was. Fountain drinks are just about pure profit for anybody.
Yeah.
They
Make a lot
are.
of
I
money.
mean, for what they charge for it.
What I'm saying, they at least have to buy the product from Coca-Cola or Pepsi or whoever they're using. Disney had a sponsorship deal with them. They didn't have to do that.
Well, John, trust me, it doesn't matter. They're still making bank off of it, regardless, or they wouldn't do it. They're still making money off of it.
Well, they've been the official drink for it's a really long
They will
time.
be from years and years to come, unless
Yeah.
they tick the right person off.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
anyway,
Right. All right. Well, I have one other question to end this up with.
Okay.
Is there anything you haven't done at the Polynesian that you'd like to do?
I have never actually been inside of Trader Sam's, the inside one. I never have.
Me either. Kids are not allowed.
No, I've
That's
never been
fine.
inside the inside one.
So I haven't seen it yet because I haven't gone without kids. So
I can think of a few things. You're naming that. That would be one going inside there.
that's
But
one.
what is it? The Big Kahuna Suite or whatever it is. That one. That big deal.
Okay, right.
I mean, that would be a big. That would be something.
Staying at all the longhouses would be one I'd love to do.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean-
Thing and all, yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's still a number of
As
things.
far as the food goes, I think we've pretty much conquered it.
Yeah.
Let's go for something different.
Yeah.
Kona, Captain Cook, Ohana.
Right. What's the best food item at Polynesian?
That's a
That's a tough
toughie.
That is a toughie.
Well, I mean, they've changed them at Kona, so you gotta. And that, well, of course,
They've changed the
Captain
menus.
Cook's
They've
too.
changed the menus over the years. Period.
Yeah.
I can tell you the thing I order the most there right now is those pulled pork nachos at Captain Cook's. I've probably ordered that more
And
than
I haven't
anything.
had those. I haven't had those
Ooh.
yet.
It's delicious.
The item that I remember from Captain Cook's and most recent is, like I said, that pineapple grilled chicken sandwich. I liked it.
I thought you say Tonga toast.
Tonga toast is a favorite. It's a staple.
Yeah.
That's normally what we did since I've been going. We do breakfast. We never did like lunch or dinner there at Captain Cook's.
Right.
So, but I don't think they have the croissants anymore. If they do you have to request them? Because I don't think they were on the
I don't
menu.
know. Hmm.
Because
Yeah,
that was one of the things that Mama loved, and I got it for Jenna the first time we went. She liked it, and she didn't really. We kind of split a Tonga toast. She didn't really like the one from Captain Cook's because
It's not. Yeah, it's not quite the same.
no, it's not the same. Because we kind of split it and split the sandwich, just to try different things. But the croissant is the one that stands out in my mind. It used to be the go-to
Right.
at Captain Cook's. The bacon, egg, and cheese, whatever it was, croissant.
Right. Hmm.
Yes.
Well, I feel like the most recent place I got that was at Grand Floridian's.
Oh, really?
The Casparilla. They still have one, I believe. Because it's not been that long since I've eaten there, and they had that.
I tell you what, I really enjoyed
For
that
breakfast.
croissant style sandwich or whatever it was that I got. I can't remember. I just remember it was good. I can't remember what it was called now. Over
Yeah.
at Riviera at the quick service there
Oh, yeah. Mm.
for breakfast. That
Le
was
Petit
really,
Cafe, or
yeah, it was.
which one?
It was the quick.
Or
The one
downstairs.
the one downstairs. The one
Yeah,
you can mobile
the
order.
one-
I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah. I can't think of it either for some reason.
But we had that for
Rough.
breakfast one morning when we were staying at Caribbean that time.
Oh, yeah, that is a good quick service. Anyway. All right, well, we're going to have to wrap this up. We could talk about this all day, obviously.
Good.
Even longer.
I would think so.
Maybe part 3 will be next week.
So, is the next resort that we've all had the common denominator to visiting the most probably Caribbean? I mean, between all of us over the years.
I've really only stayed there twice. Once recently and then once 30 years ago.
I guess technically I've only stayed there twice.
Same for me. Once recently and once 30 years ago.
Okay, so maybe the Contemporary is the next most stayed. It's about the same.
I stayed there once, and then once 30 years ago.
What about Pop Century? No.
Pop Century, I stayed there twice.
I don't know. I don't know. Because John set the reservation that time, and I just went. I can't remember which one we went to.
Yeah, the one thing he was worried about was that was the one he still had Magical Express. He was worried about whether or not his luggage would be in the room.
Yes, I was.
And yes, that night when we came in from the park or whatever, we tripped over it when we opened the door.
Well, of course.
So
The Dick Van Dyke style, yeah.
Yeah, but in
pretty
my
much.
head, I'm like, John's like, no, they bring it to your room. I'm like, it's just a feeling. Like, I don't care. I don't trust. I trust if my hands is on it leaving the airport.
Right.
But everything worked out fine. It was cool.
he can say that now.
I'm say we didn't lose anything, but at the time, I probably told him, if I don't have my luggage, I'll probably kill you. Like Blackbeard.
No, I think that was Love Bug, wasn't it? You were talking about.
Anyway, whatever I said.
Have a show.
Oh, it was
Yeah.
Thorndike.
Yes.
If you tell me the chef tickles your nose, I'll probably kill you. Yeah, that's probably what I told him.
Oh, wow. Oh, man. You know we're Disney nerds when we quote movies that,
From 1969. No.
right.
Especially about our airport luggage that didn't
Right.
if it shows up or not.
Wow. That's some
anyway.
layers of Disney fandom. All right, John, where can we be found online? Tell us.
Well, we can be found on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. That is all at TWTM Podcast. There is a Spreadshirt store, which you can get your exclusive TWTM merchandise. That is shop.spreadshirt.com/TWTM Podcast. And we also have a YouTube channel, which you can find where, Adam?
On our website, you can find links to that and more, or travelingwiththemouse.com, and you can email us, podcast@travelingwiththemouse.com. And if you want to book your own trip, you can use our travel agent friend. Her name is Jill Dilbeck, and her email address is jilldilbeck@gmail.com. And that's going to be this episode. My name has been Adam. John and James have joined me for this nostalgic trip down memory lane to the Polynesian. We hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you on our next trip. Did I say that right? I always say our tagline wrong.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.